If you're tired of hunting for AI automation leads while your competitors are booking calls on autopilot, this video is going to change everything for you. I'm going to show you the exact platform that I'm using that's already generated positive responses from prospects in just the first week. I help builders and freelancers transition to AI consultants who close four-figure projects and retainers, and lead generation has always been the biggest bottleneck for my community. Today, I'm walking you through Aimfox, showing you the exact setup I use, and showing you why this beats cold email alone by 280%. Plus, I'll show you the rental account strategy that lets you test multiple niches and offers simultaneously without putting your real LinkedIn account in jeopardy. If you want to land your first or next AI client, you can take part in the 4-week challenge inside my free school community of like-minded people, where you'll find a free course that's honestly better than most paid courses out there, and you'll get direct one-on-one access to me for whatever questions that you might have. The link is down in the description. Now let's dive in. All right, so this is the Aimfox platform. I'm going to walk you through kind of all of what everything means and get you oriented so that you can start setting up your own campaigns and start generating your own leads. So like I said, I just started using this. I've sent 6 messages to 4 people and I've gotten 1 positive reply. And so we're going to have a call this week. This is going to be a game changer, and not just because it's automated, but because you're able to enhance that automation by using rental accounts. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. So first thing is, this is analytics. So you can kind of get a sense of, what your funnel looks like. So at the top of the funnel, you have everybody that you have on your list, everybody that you're reaching out to, setting a connection request to, and then anyone who accepts it now moves on to the lower stage of your funnel. Anyone who responds is down lower, anyone who books a call, and then anyone who converts. And so that's why a funnel is called a funnel, is because you start with a large number of people and end up with a smaller number of people. But this gives you insight into what your funnel looks like. Recent leads will be down at the bottom. And the way that leads are kind of, defined on Aimfox is people who are actually accepting your connection requests and responding to your messages. So those become leads. Okay, so we will come right here to accounts. So as you can see right now, I only have my actual personal LinkedIn account that's connected here. Now, the cool thing about this is I can do a couple different things. Number one, there is like the personal plan where you're just, doing outreach for your own business. But you can also have like a white label agency plan, which is kind of cool. So if you already have clients and they want to do LinkedIn outreach, or, whatever the use case is, the agency plan is only $149 a month, and then you can have up to 20 accounts for whom you are managing their outreach. And so this is like, even if you're not using it to generate leads for your own business, you can use this to generate leads for other businesses. So it's really cool and really affordable. But to add an account, you would just click here. This is where you connect your own LinkedIn account, and you can use the Chrome extension, which is recommended. That's what I use, which is this little icon up here. You can also log in with your email and password. As you can see, my account is already connected. Let's come down here to campaigns. So I have a couple different campaigns. One is actually going to be starting, I believe, tomorrow. And then the other one was basically just one that I was using for testing. And that's the one that already got the positive reply in the book call. So if I click here in the corner, create campaign, so I can do outbound, which is primarily what we're going to be talking about. I just really want to quickly cover inbound. This is like when people connect with you. So they are the ones originating the connection request. But you can do inbound for post engagers. So anybody who is engaging on a post, then you can, send them a message and so on and so forth. But we are going to be focusing on outbound. So you can do LinkedIn search. You can also use Sales Navigator. So if you guys aren't familiar with Sales Navigator, it's totally worth the investment because you can have everything all in one place. You can also target event attendees or group members. The only thing about that is you both have to have attended the same event or are attending the same event or be a member of the same group. So that's totally doable. But when you start to add these rental accounts, which we'll be talking about in just a moment, then you have to make sure that that profile, if they're the ones reaching out to that prospect, is in that group or attending that event. You can just grab a custom list. So you can use tools like Apollo or Prospeo, grab a list and then upload it in here, and then create a campaign off of that. Or you can connect it to your CRM, which is really cool, because that way you can connect it to, whatever the CRM platform is that you're using, or you can connect it to Instantly. So that's really neat if you're doing cold email, which I definitely recommend. But like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, cold email is fantastic by itself, but multi-channel outreach, which is cold email plus LinkedIn outreach plus like sending a custom video, has been proven to yield better results by 280%. So that's pretty huge. But so just, pick your poison. If you want to use CRM, probably custom list is where most people want to start out. And then we will go ahead and click next. So you can name it whatever you want. What LinkedIn accounts will run this campaign. So I only have my personal account on here, but if you have rental accounts set up, you will see them listed, and you can toggle those on and off to, determine which accounts are going to be reaching out for this campaign. And then outreach type, how you want to engage your targets. So you can send connection notes, message requests, or in-mails. So I'm going to leave this to connection requests. If you toggle it to in-mail, then it will only send in-mails to people who have that capability turned on. So people who accept messages from anyone. And then maximum targets, that's just left at 10,000. So we'll go ahead and create this campaign. I'm just going to name this test just to keep it straight. Okay, so now this is where you would upload your CSV if you have a list from like Apollo. I'm going to go ahead and skip this for now. And then this is your audience preview. So once you have added your list, it's going to add it in here, and you'll be able to see everybody's names and profiles and all that good stuff. But really what I want to show you is creating your campaign flow. So this is like what messages are actually going to be sent, what behaviors Aimfox is actually going to take on your behalf in order to connect with people in your target audience. So connection flow A is just your default, but you can also create a split test. So you would just click here, you can duplicate the flow that you've already created and then tweak it. So let's go ahead and come through and configure this, and then you'll know how to create a split test once we're done. So automatic translation is where it automatically translates your message to the recipient's language. I'm targeting people in the US and Canada primarily, so I can leave that off. So then it's going to view their profile. So it's going to look like I went and viewed their profile before sending the connection request, which just always makes it look more real. The connection request is sent. You can add a connection note. What I have been doing is just not sending any note whatsoever. I think that for me, like when I receive a connection request, as long as that person looks legitimate, doesn't look like a scammer, and it also helps if they have LinkedIn Premium, that I know that they're serious and they're, not just like a hobbyist on LinkedIn, then I'm more likely to accept their connection request. So I've been experimenting and not using a note whatsoever, and it's been working out well. Next, I'm going to go in, and my profile is going to react to one of their posts. So I will go ahead and turn that on. And I'm going to say that I will love one of their most recent posts. And so I can react to a post, 0 days and 3 hours after reaching out, let's say. And then this is where I will craft my message sequence. So I'm going to add a follow-up message, and then I can pick from these templates in here. I'm just going to grab a random one so you can kind of see what it looks like. So I'm chatting with a few people in your role first name. This is dynamically populated. As you can see over here on the right, this is basically what it looks like. And notice a pattern around, let's click this edit button here, and we'll see what this says. So if I click on that, so this is like an AI field. So describe a common challenge that people in the target's role face. Does that resonate with you at all? Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily send this message in my outreach, but I can come in here and, change this. So I can say, would it be helpful for me to send over a customized video for you? If I click here, I can also change this prompt. So I could change it to briefly describe a common opportunity for implementing AI in the target's business. I went ahead and saved that, and now it will update here on the right hand side with that new messaging. So I'm chatting with a few people in your role, Alexander. Notice a pattern around automating and personalizing LinkedIn outreach to boost response rates and streamline lead gen for agencies and GTM teams. Would it be helpful for me to send over a customized video for you? And so now that I have that saved, I can send this message, let's say 0 days and 14 hours after connecting, or maybe I'll shorten that a bit. Let's say 8 hours after connecting. And then I can add a follow-up message. So, let's say I want to send a breakup message, it's been 2 weeks and they still haven't responded, something like that. I mean, realistically, I'm going to be sending probably 3 messages, and then this would be the final message, but you can tweak this to your heart's content. But let's say I'm going to send this breakup message. So seems like this might not be relevant right now, but if you ever need to plug holes in your schedule, you know where to find me. And this is actually a message I am sending, which is why it doesn't make sense in this context. But so I'm going to send this 3 days after sending message 1. This is what it looks like. And I can send another follow-up message, so on and so forth. I can choose to endorse a skill, clicking that on, and then again, you can set how many days to wait for that. I'm going to leave that off because I don't know these people, so it doesn't make sense for me to endorse a skill for them. And then right here, withdraw the connection request, because again, LinkedIn only allows you to have so many pending connection requests at a time. And so if they haven't responded or if they haven't received my connection request and accepted it in 30 days, then I'm going to go ahead and withdraw that so I have room to send more. And then I'm going to click next. I'm going to not touch anything on this. Oh, let me take a step back. Let's go back to campaign flow. So now that connection flow A is completely done, I can create a split test. I can duplicate the flow, and now I have A and B. They're identical right now, but I can, make a change if I want to. And what I would recommend is, if you're testing different messaging, only make one change at a time. Because if you have a completely different flow B from flow A and it's working great, well, now you don't know, which component of that you changed or that is different from flow A. You don't know what's responsible for that. And so if you just change one thing at a time, then you can say, okay, my CTA needs to be better, or my hook on my message that I'm sending at first needs to be better, so on and so forth. Okay, so now I'm going to click next. This is the schedule that it will send based on. It's going to based on the target's time zone from 9 to 5 all days of the week, so including weekends. I'm going to leave that just like that. And then this is just reviewing everything. So this looks good. And then I can click start in the lower right hand corner. Obviously I don't have any leads actually loaded into this list, or I can schedule this campaign for, let's say the 19th at 6 a.m. and I can click schedule. Okay, and then these are the campaign details, so I can see like the specifics about how things are going from there. So the templates for the messages, you can actually come in here and create your own. You can, name it something that's specific to a campaign. So like, let's say you're targeting, I don't know, home service businesses in Canada. Then you can name it, something that's going to let you know that this is for that target audience. So it could be home services businesses, Canada, message A or message 1, something like that, so on and so forth. But that'll just help you to stay organized with your templates as you go. This leads tab right here. So all of your leads are going to come in here, and so you can just easily manage them. You can also search or filter by like their origins, so profile connections, profile messages, their current company, past company locations, so on and so forth. And then if I click inbox, so all of the people that have been messaging you on LinkedIn are going to come in right here. And then you can just manage your inbox all in one place, rather than having to toggle back to LinkedIn or, go back and forth between the two platforms. And then in terms of integrations, you guys will be excited to hear that there's an MCP server, and it also integrates with N8N, also Instantly or Smart Lead. So if you're using cold email, you're probably using one of those two platforms. And that's just going to allow you to use that multi-channel approach where you're sending a cold email, also hitting them up on LinkedIn, and then you can, maximize your odds with that lead. Okay, and now the last thing that I want to do is show you how to add a rental account or a rental profile. Okay, so let's go down here to our profile, go to settings, and come over here to billing. So right now I just have my single outreach seat of myself, but I can add an outreach avatar, and so I can click here to activate the subscription. So like I said, you need to commit to 3 months, which is $387 for those 3 months. If I wanted to scale that up, obviously you can see it's just a multiple of that. So you can have, once you have proven messaging, you can really do damage with this thing. But, let's say I just wanted to add one for right now. So as you can see, the outreach avatars need some time to be prepared by our team and assigned to your account. They will show up in your dashboard within 2 business days. You can add the payment method here, which is my business credit card, and then I can click confirm. I'm not going to do that right now because I still want to test messaging before I scale, which is always a smart choice. But I just wanted to kind of highlight that's what you are able to do. But just to show you some quick math, so let's say I'm just going to use one single LinkedIn outreach account, so that's $49, right? Now let's say I only get on 2 calls for the month, which is unlikely, and I only close one of those, but it's a $2,000 offer. So that's a 40x ROI. Now, obviously, I'm still in the beginning stages of this, but I'm already encouraged by the fact that I've gotten 1 positive response and a booked call just in the first week when I was really just testing the system to see if it worked. So I will keep you posted and let you know how it goes. But like I said already, now you know how to automate LinkedIn lead generation at scale and book calls on autopilot. You've got a system that can generate qualified prospects for you while you sleep, scale across multiple niches, and integrate with your existing marketing stack. But having leads is only half the battle. You still need to convert them into paying clients. Most people get connections and then completely screw up the conversation because they don't know how to diagnose problems or position their services. So if you want to land your first or next AI client, you can take part in the 4-week challenge that's inside of my free school community of like-minded people, where you will find a free course that's honestly better than most paid courses out there, and you'll get direct one-on-one access to me for whatever questions that you might have. The link is down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.